everyone. Good morning. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Weekend Wake Up. My name is Caitlin Aristizabal, and I'm joined by my co-host
Leslie Gallagher. Welcome to Weekend Wake Up, my friends. Welcome to your, I was going to say daily, but I mean weekly dose of lifestyle-ish news. And we've got some pretty interesting topics to talk about today. And we're starting out with music. And I'm just excited. We're having Jake Getz on to talk about new music. And of course, we're talking about Taylor Swift's new song that she released on a Wednesday. Which, Jake, why is that so weird? Explain to me.
I don't know. Well, typically new music comes out on Fridays. That's just like, I think just an industry thing. But
Yeah.
It's an industry, it's a norm, but it's not a rule.
It's a norm,
Taylor
but
Swift broke it, and I'm very happy. It's very good.
breaking all the rules. I mean,
Yeah.
songs and releasing all the ones that they wouldn't let her.
Releasing it on a Wednesday, there is absolutely no control here.
I was like going through articles, just trying to find some music news, and Caitlin was there when I found this article about Taylor releasing a new song, and
I was like,
I squealed. I literally screamed.
That's new.
And she was embarrassed, but it's fine.
Oh, it was funny. It was very funny. She was so loud. I was like, what happened? Oh my God.
Are you okay? I was just so confused. I was like, that's not normal. And that's the thing with Taylor Swift, is she just like does surprise things, just like here's a new thing. And like, I don't know, I haven't been like paying super close attention to her like hints lately, because I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that. So anyways, Jake, what did you think of it?
For sure, the song. Okay, so I thought the song, it was okay. I think I could definitely see how it been on an album but ended up getting cut.
Yes.
You know? Because it's not bad, but it's also like very, like next to some of her like more notable work, like it really doesn't hold a candle to it. And I don't think it's gonna have the biggest reputation going forward, like this individual song.
I know exactly what you mean too, because it's a little more simple.
Yeah,
but I think
definitely.
Also interesting because she did write it when she was younger,
and
it, even though the lyrics are simple, you know, they still hold meaning. But it's definitely a different shift from her more recent work. But I guess that makes all the more sense because she did write it when she was around 17, 18, 19. So
yeah, for sure. And it is cool to have that kind of element of the artist's discography like up, available just to see as a part of like, I guess their history and what they did. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how the song is going to like move about. Like, am I gonna hear it on a radio or anything like that? I mean, maybe, but like I don't know if it's gonna like pop off as well as like others do.
My prediction, honestly, is when I was listening to it, it sounded like it would be like a pop hit.
Yeah.
Like at some point in time. I don't know if people would vibe with it as much now as maybe a few years ago. Like, I'm not really sure, but it did sound like something that people would jam out to in a car.
Yeah.
I could see that, yeah. I mean, it reminded me of old Taylor, which made me happy. I really appreciated that.
Really?
I was like, oh, it made me feel nostalgic. I don't know. Like, I feel like her new music doesn't sound like that at all. So it definitely feels like old Taylor era.
It's so weird because her songs from the vault really kind of do sound like they were made in the Fearless era. Like they sound like they give the same vibe as the Fearless album. And I honestly, like when she said she was releasing new songs or like from that era, I thought they would actually sound like her newer music.
Yeah,
but
a bit more
really
mature.
do sound like they're from that time, which is weird to me, but very cool. Like, it's impressive.
That is interesting. Do you think that's just because of like the style of the music and like she's doing more popular stuff while her new stuff is more like indie folk kind of?
Yeah.
Or is it like, it's just that?
I guess so, because her style has changed a lot. But also, like, I don't know, the production of it, like, makes it feel nostalgic. And I don't know a lot about production, but, like, I know for sure that, like, they worked to make it sound like a certain way, to make it sound like it came from that era.
Wow.
And, like, yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know.
They were really trying to go for a vibe.
Yeah, I always feel like the stuff that was made from, like, the early 2000s and the 90s have a very specific vibe to it that I almost wonder, like I don't think you could, like, fully like I don't know, like I'm not saying you can't, but like
Yeah.
sometimes I wonder, I feel like, oh my god, like when looking at it, it's like, can we ever like replicate this from like what we have now? And I
Yeah.
don't know, it's interesting to see, someone with money, trying that,
Exactly. You're so right too, because it's like something that hasn't really been done, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess between like the two new songs that are out, like they both have like they're both like very meaningful but do have simple lyrics
yeah,
and
no, the
like a little
lyrics.
bit of just like a little bit of the country vibe, just a little
Mhm.
bit in there. And like if you put it in between other Fearless songs and you played it for someone who didn't know Taylor Swift, I don't think they'd be able to tell the difference. Maybe a little bit because her voice changed it a bit, but
Mm.
that's about it.
Huh. Yeah. So moving on, because I can't talk about Taylor Swift all day. Well, I could, but that'd be a unfortunate segment. Okay. I wanted to move to Shy Away by 21 Pilots. This is the first song that they released in like a while, since Trench, all the way back in 2018. I don't think I listened to Trench that much because, like, I don't know. I thought the cover art was ugly, and that's how I judge music. Um, but I was a huge fan around the Blurry Face era in 2016, and I liked their first album. What was it called? Vessel, a lot. And this song is pretty cool. I could definitely. It's very poppy. I could definitely see it being like, I don't know, a pop hit kind of. If like hearing it in like stores. Um, it's got some really cool production elements, which is kind of typical of uh, 21 Pilots. They always did really cool stuff with that, especially. But I don't know. It's kind of funny because the song is called like "Shy Away," and like the chorus kind of goes like, "Don't shy away," and it's like, I don't know. 21 Pilots has never really shied away from like anything. If you know their music, he goes really like,
They
it's really
go hard
emo stuff.
sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
they
he
get
lets
real
it all
deep.
out there. And this is not really a song where that happens. And I just thought that that was kind of ironic. How
Is it
like,
more like on the surface type? Like just not very
yeah, it's just kind of like a pop song, and it's a good pop song, but like, you
huh.
know, there's not much there, like, emotionally wise, that I think is what a lot of people connect with 21 Pilots. But so better than I thought it'd be. Oh my god.
Guess they're trying something new. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely
I'm
a different
still
vibe.
I'm surprised by the fact that you still said 21 Pilots because I have not heard their name in so long. It feels like that's crazy.
Yeah, they go on their little
Exciting.
breaks.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another name. Oh my god, wait, that's weird. There's another name that you might be surprised to hear, is Unwanted by Rick Astley. If you don't know Rick Astley, that's the
Never gonna
guy
give
from the Rick
you up.
Rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that
I
one.
love how Leslie started singing
You
it.
don't need an explanation, just start singing the song. We
Yeah.
all know that song.
So he came out with a new song called Unwanted. And
Damn.
this song is so silly and so dumb, but it's also kind of good. It's like, it has this really cool 80s synth production.
Oh,
Like
that's
it really
cool.
does. Yeah, it sounds like that. And it did it well. It might not be the most original, but it's still good. And basically it just, his voice is kind of silly, but like other than that, it's a pretty cool track. I'd recommend this one. Oh,
Interesting. Do you think it meets the level of Never Gonna Give You Up?
oh no, nothing could
No.
ever be the level of Never Gonna Give You Up. But like I could see this coming on and just being like a good meme.
Oh no. I feel bad for him. I don't want him to get memed again. He's probably
Oh, I don't know. I feel
fine.
like it's a respectful meme with him,
I
you know?
respect him. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's not
Because
like
I
you're
don't think
making
there's
fun
any
of
like,
you.
yeah, there's no contempt in it. It's just like, here's Rick, you know? Like, I don't know. I wanted to think of a contemptuous meme, but I don't know. I can't. But even though I'm sure they're out there. But yeah. So that's all the music I have for the day. Thank you
Do you
very
have any
much for
music news, Jake?
music news. Oh man, that's right. Um, so artificial intelligence created a new Nirvana song. The song's called "Desert in the Sun," and I listened to it and it's weird. It made me uncomfortable. And I don't like it.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Also, I think it's called Drowned in the Sun. Just
Drowned in the Sun. Okay.
Uncomfortable? Why?
I don't know. It was just like a song. It was weird because it was like Nirvana and it had like all the tenets of a Nirvana song. It had the voice, it had the guitars, and it all sounded like a Nirvana song, but there just wasn't any melody. Ooh. Well, or at least in the verse, kind of. In the chorus, it picks up a bit, but like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It felt weird. It didn't seem like to me.
It didn't feel like authentic to you?
It's almost odd because it was like authentic, but not like.
Like it felt like something was off?
Yeah, maybe like the uncanny valley or something like.
I can see that. I mean, I did listen to a bit of it, and I just, it kind of blew my mind a little bit because I don't know. Artificial intelligence is so crazy to me that it sounded like a real song with like, I don't know. It sounded real to me. I can see where you could say though, it did seem a little off, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's natural though, because it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
just the fact that they did that though is crazy. Like, how did you even put that together?
They explain it in the article. I have an article from LiveWire that totally just breaks it down, and it's crazy. I don't know. It's all technobabble. I don't know.
Technobabble.
Yeah.
Good summary. Well, anyways, thank you, Jake, for that news, and I hope you come around to liking Mr. Perfectly Fine more. But you know what? It's okay.
Leslie,
fine.
Don't take it personal.
I'm not hurt. It's really not a big deal. Anyways, here's Camilla Wnek. And she's gonna talk a little bit of lifestyle, like what's going on in the world. How are you doing in your life, Camilla?
Hi guys, I'm doing pretty well. As you know, lifestyle is usually the latest news, the newest trends in terms of fashion. It's a range of different topics. And I actually wanted to start today with an interesting article released by CNN about the recent coronavirus pandemic, because as you know, the pandemic literally started like a year ago. It was sometime around April, March, wasn't it?
It was March. The year mark just passed like about 2 weeks ago, I believe, or 3.
Okay. Yeah, nevertheless, it was like around this time, which is pretty interesting. And apparently, according to CNN, 5 states have accorded to about like 43% of the newest coronavirus, the newest spikes, the newest cases. So if you think about it, 43%, that's like almost like 50%. That's like almost half in 5 states.
That's an alarming statistic, honestly.
Yeah. So, but you know what I was actually thinking, like, while it's, you know, it's not good, of course, that, you know, there are recent cases, at least it's in those 5 states. And those states are Pennsylvania, Michigan, Florida, and unfortunately, New Jersey and New York. Yeah. I know we have listeners in New Jersey and New York, so I'm pretty sure we should all be careful. We should, especially with the spring coming in and spring allergies and all that loveliness. We should all try to care for our health and be careful because, you know, coronavirus is no joke. And
yeah, I guess it keeps getting bad in New Jersey and New York because it's just like, well, one, the dense population thing, and then also I've noticed the more people around me getting a little more relaxed about wearing masks and stuff because they're getting vaccines. Not everyone who's getting vaccine is becoming more relaxed, but a lot of people I've personally seen, because I don't know, I guess people have this notion that like you get a vaccine and it means that you're immune, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of like the mentality around it. Like, that's what I know.
It's so dangerous. Like, it seems so harmless, like not wearing a mask and whatever, but like because it seems so simple, right? It's just like a cloth over your face, and like not wearing it like doesn't feel that different, but then like it could be in theory deadly. It's scary. Yeah. I'm not surprised that New Jersey was on that list, honestly, because we're always a mess.
It's very close to New York too. So, and New York is a metropolis, and in metropolis, there's a lot of people travel and everything. So it's like, I kind of expected it, but I didn't expect that New Jersey was on that list. But like, once again, I don't want to be like mean saying this in any way, but at least it's in those 5 states. What's actually like interesting, even though like there's a lot of cases in those 5 states, like other states, such as California, for example, have seen a drastic decline in coronavirus states. So, that's some good news.
Well, that's good. Congrats, California.
Yeah. I feel actually that like the reason that people, I guess the cases have been on the rise, at least in our states, in those 5 unfortunate states, was because, well, first off, spring allergies. And secondly, the spring holiday season, many people celebrate Easter, there was Passover, there was a lot of travel. So, with traveling, most likely comes a lot of different microbes, and maybe like, some people accidentally pass some things there. But speaking of the Easter holiday season, the spring holiday season in general, I'm pretty sure, even though it's a fun time, it has taken like kind of a toll on everybody, specifically us MSU students, because we didn't really get a spring break. And I'm pretty yeah, go on, Leslie. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at our school for not giving us a spring break. I'm just like, we all could have needed like a mental health day. I would have taken a day.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say thank you for acknowledging that, because like it just like many times I thought it was like only just me. I'm like, is it me? Do I feel like I didn't get a break? Or
no, I think we're all experiencing like burnout. I don't know, just me and a lot of people I know. Just like, we need like one day, man, just to catch up. Like no classes, no work, just like chill. You just need that sometimes, like almost like a reset. But
yeah, no, I like how you said like a reset. So actually, speaking of that, because like usually after like you kind of get burnt out and you kind of get sluggish, you get tired. I dare say lazy. I don't want to say it's not the thing for everyone, because a lot of people like are different, but like you get somehow tired, whether it's mentally, physically. And I just want to share with you guys some fast little tips about how to get more energy throughout the day without risking your health, and like since like the corona cases are up, like still be careful. And one of the easiest ways to get more energy is to move around more. And I know that's kind of odd to say, because it's like, how can you get more? Aren't you tired about moving around more? That's actually untrue. According to The Guardian, like movement, at least 10 minutes of movement throughout the day, like it can be anything, whether it's walking and dancing, it can be like, going around, like just shaking yourself out of it. Like it actually accounts for more energy. Like it's a positive feedback loop in terms of like the more energy, the more kind of you give out, the more, of course, like you could expect to be like tired after running like a half marathon. I'm not saying that, but just like at least a little bit of movement that inclines your body to want to move more. And some of my favorite ways to move around are going for a walk outside, dancing, playing, especially Just Dance, that video game. Sometimes I just randomly like turn, like if I'm feeling like very, very low, very down, I have a Wii in my basement. Yes, those still exist and people still use them. And I turn on like a fast like song, one of my favorite songs, and I just like I dance my heart out. Sometimes I call my sister and I'm just like, hey, dance break. And sometimes she comes, sometimes she doesn't. Very fun, nevertheless.
It's funny you say like a 10-minute walk could like make all the difference, because I think a lot of students right now are just on their computers for most of the day, not really getting out, and like those little 5-10 minute walks to class probably made more difference than we thought, and we're not really getting that and as much anymore if you're not like going to an in-person class, which most people aren't, I believe, because most people are just kind of stuck online, or they're just
Zoom
at
now.
home.
I was actually gonna say, yeah, Leslie, especially with Zoom now, like everything's so easily, like everything's so easy, everything's so like so much better. It's like, oh, why do I have to go for a walk? Well, it's good for you. It will do you a lot of good.
And it's funny you say that too, because some days I literally have like meetings or classes like back to back, because I don't really even know how it happens, but like some days I just literally have stuff back to back, and I'm always just on my computer, and like it's so frustrating, because normally I'd be like walking to these other people or places and whatever, but now I'm literally like just going on a different link, and I don't actually physically get up unless I need to. And honestly, I should probably make it more of a priority to, like, you know, for a more relaxed Zoom call, just take my phone and go on a walk.
Oh my gosh,
while I'm on the call, like,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very, unless you have to take notes. Well, even though you can't take on a phone, like,
I don't do that anyway. It's fine.
It's suggested for our viewers to still take notes, but you know, it's up to you. Nevertheless, another interesting nutrition-based like tip I want to share with you is to limit sugars, but focus on healthy carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, like, you know, the crazy word people are terrified of, but those include like healthy forms like whole grains, whole grain bread, or like baked goods such as tortillas. I don't want to say pasta because it depends. Some can be processed.
Ooh.
But
yeah,
like
pasta is I guess it depends.
Yeah, whole grain. I'm guessing like whole grain, like, you know, made with as little ingredients as possible, and potatoes, specifically sweet potatoes, because apparently they do something good with, like, to your blood sugar. They don't affect it as much. And actually, I want to share some very fast, like some of my favorite carbohydrates include sweet potatoes, specifically Japanese sweet potatoes. I highly recommend for you to try them out.
What is that? Explain. What is a Japanese sweet potato?
It's basically a white sweet potato. It does not look like a normal potato. It looks like it has a pink skin.
Oh.
Yeah, it has like this pinkish skin, and it's white on the inside.
Why is it your favorite? Like, what makes it different?
The thing, like, sweet potatoes are sweet compared to normal potatoes and anything else. Like, it has a specific flavor. Like, there's something about it. Like, you can have it in so many ways, sweet or like savory.
Wait,
like,
but I mean, like, why the Japanese sweet potato?
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, that's so specific.
Oh, well, first off, it's like, well, I not only chose it like because it has the most nutrients out of all of them, but like also there's just like it has this specific distinct taste. It has and you can have it sweet or savory. I don't feel you can have normal potato. I mean, a normal sweet potato, sweet or savory. Like, you have to have it just in my
With the I'm sorry, I'm trying to grasp this concept.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Sweet potato, you can cook it or eat it in a way where you can eat it in a sweet way or a savory way. Like, it can be both or either one.
In my opinion, yeah, that's just my view.
That's so weird. Okay.
Like, you gotta have it with peanuts. Many people do, and I highly recommend it. And it's a very good carb for like regulating your energy, so you're not like tired or anything. And it's like, yeah, carbs are a good thing, my friends. Reach for them, especially Japanese sweet potatoes.
I have to try that. Where do you buy Japanese sweet potatoes? Like, is that just in a normal like supermarket? Like, or do you have to go to a place?
Unfortunately, they're not found in normal supermarkets. Like, they're more found in bougie, more expensive places, such as Whole Foods, or I'm not sure if Wegmans is one of those. But one I would highly recommend is Trader Joe's. They're called the Murasaki sweet potatoes, I believe, if I'm pronouncing correctly. Yeah.
I used to work in a supermarket and I never saw any special potatoes. So I was just like, where do I find these now that I'm intrigued? Like, you just mentioned them and tried to be like all casual about it. I'm like, no, we're talking about Japanese potatoes now. You brought it up.
Yeah. It's sadly more in the premium stores, the more expensive ones. But I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth it.
Alrighty, well then I guess I'll have to check it out. Anything else you want to share with us, Isa? Well, I'm so sorry, Camilla. Oh my God, I did not.
Oh my gosh, no, it's okay. I'm not offended. Okay. Well, it just as a conclusion to wrap up, like my tips on like regulating your energy and ways to have more energy throughout the day. Move around more. Like, whether it's going for a fast walk, dancing, you know, putting even finding something on your phone, dancing to some music, walking around, moving around more in general will help you, but not crazily. Like, naturally going outside for a walk, as well as limiting processed sugars. You know what those are, the Kit Kats, the Snickers, all that crap. and including more healthy carbohydrates, such as fruit, whole grains, and yes, sweet potatoes, specifically Japanese sweet potatoes. I'm kidding, you don't need those, but generally whole good sources of carbohydrates, because those can regulate your blood sugar and provide you with healthy, good energy.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thank you guys very much.
Caitlin, I know you're into walks and such.
Walks, yes. Walking is not, I mean, on campus, when I'm at home, I feel like I never do stuff like that. So it's nice that like at school, I'll be like, oh, let's just walk around. Like, let's walk around campus because there's stuff to look at and stuff. And like, I feel like at home, I don't really have that. I don't know. If I walk, what do I look at? I guess houses. I like looking at houses. That's true. But walking on campus is just different because you can like explore buildings. And then there's like your friends. If I walk alone, it's just like, yeah.
I know, whenever I'd go on walks like around my neighborhood at home, like first of all, it's like a huge hill. I mean, I guess Montclair has hills too, but like, I don't know, like we like live, like, I guess where like, if you're walking one way or the other, you're either like gonna have a hard incline coming back or you start out that way. And I'm like, I don't know. And it's just different. I like walking around.
Too much work.
It is kind of too much work. Like if I just want to leisurely walk, like, I don't know, I like walking around campus too. And it's more fun with like friends and stuff. And if we're like, just, I don't know, walking around, I think it's fun. You want to go on a walk later today? Because
yeah, actually, yeah.
I would do that because I have like, my days are like so busy. Like I said before, like it's literally like one freaking Zoom link after another, and I just can't. Like I need to.
I could use the energy because I was literally thinking about when I could take a nap today. That was my thought process. Like I woke up and was like, when can I take a nap today? That was where my brain went. So
it's so funny because I was literally thinking the same thing when I woke up.
Maybe we could use a walk. Maybe we need the energy boost.
Oh, and you know what's also great about going outside, Caitlin? Is that I thought you were gonna have a walk.
No, I was like, what is great about going outside? Because I have issues with nature.
No, going outside, you see the sunshine, and you get some vitamin D. We have Wnek here to talk about how important vitamin D is.
Oh, yes. Of course. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to my lovely segment. So today I want to discuss something that is very important and has been going around in the health news industry in the United States, and that is the vitamin D deficiency. Now, the big question is, are you secretly suffering from a vitamin D deficiency? The symptoms of this include fatigue, muscle aches, more frequent infections, lowered immunity, and a lot of joint pains. Have you guys been suffering from this recently?
The fatigue, 100%. The rest, not really. I don't think so, unless I'm just used to it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I don't think so. Fatigue for sure, though. What about you, Kate?
Yeah, see, that's funny because yesterday I was literally like, I'm always tired and I don't know why. Like, is something wrong with me? I was literally complaining. Leslie was there too. I was just complaining about this. I was like, I don't understand. And I mean, it's okay to be tired.
Me too. It's fine.
It stresses me out though. Like, I feel so like, is something wrong with me every time I get like that? Because I'm like, why am I tired? You don't deserve to be tired. Like, wake up. That's how I talk to myself. I mean, not as harshly. I'm not as harsh to myself, but
no, you're like self-disciplined about it, like approaching like, oh, it's fine. Like, but I completely get you because like as a student, we have so much like work or things that we're busy with that it's sometimes hard to tell, am I just lazy or am I just tired or am I just burnt out? So it's really difficult to differentiate between like actual fatigue from lack of vitamin D or fatigue from just like doing too much or being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Well, that's student's life, so I get you.
We're all going through it. It's okay.
So, we're all battling through this.
How do we tell if our fatigue's from a vitamin D deficiency or other stuff?
That is actually a really good question, and it's actually very subjective because it all depends on your own individual body and your makeup.
No.
But if you do maintain this level of like self-awareness, and if you pay attention to how your energy levels act throughout the day, you could tell very clearly if are you just overworked from school or if this is a vitamin D deficiency. And just putting in a little more info out there about this. What happens when it comes to vitamin D deficiency, also according to Health News Today, vitamin D deficiency is characterized by this ongoing low fatigue, like lack of energy, no matter what you do. Like,
wow.
It doesn't matter if you're busy, if you're not busy. It's like this general, I would say, anemia, just like aches and pains, and not usually affected by like I would say more extreme stress. Like, for example, when you were constantly in class, or let's say, like you said, you were on Zoom all day and you were just like, you had one meeting after the other, you had one assignment after the other, and you were just—
And that's like most days too. Like, it's very, not like repetitive, I guess, but it is like the same type of thing. Like, just being on the computer.
But like my sister also said, the lack of taking a break also causes fatigue. So this is just a symptom, but any of these symptoms, what they really mean is that your body is not in balance. So going back just to the roots, no matter what kind of deficiency it is, no matter what kind of true illness it is, we must remember that if you're experiencing a symptom, whether it's fatigue, muscle aches, low immunity, whether it's lack of sleep, whether it's like hunger, it's all a sign that there's something of balance, and all you have to do is bring it back to balance. I know sometimes it's hard, but there are ways to do it, which is good news.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I feel like it's, I don't know, not like an issue that people ignore, but I think sometimes people will try to be like, oh, it's normal to be tired or whatever, and they will just keep going because they just have so much going on, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But if I may also continue, why am I asking, do you think you're suffering from vitamin D deficiency? Because it was reported by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention that about 8.1% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D, and many studies recently have been estimating that this is a much higher percentage. So think about it. You say you might be like feeling fatigued, like bad. There's maybe other, like so many other people on campus that are feeling the same way because they're like suffering from the same vitamin D deficiency, which is kind of crazy to think, because 8.1%, like out of 100, well, let's say out of 1,000 people, that's like 80 people. That's still a lot of people. And in America, like what, we have millions and millions of citizens and people living here. How many people are suffering from this? It's unfathomable.
Yeah, but also like the pandemic plays a role in it too, because we spent so much time inside. So I mean, I think it was common to have a like vitamin D deficiency, because I think I remember getting told that whenever I got blood work done. But then like with the pandemic, I think that's just escalated for everybody around, because even if it was like just going out on walks, if people were just inside doing that less and less, even if it was just briefly until now. I think now, even with the pandemic, people are like, I need to go for a mental break walk. But still, like, it's just interesting to see the effects of all this, that we have more people statistically who are vitamin D deficient.
Yeah, it's something important to remember, because this is like a bigger issue, because, like Leslie, you might be saying like, oh, sometimes I just feel fatigued, overworked. A lot of people just like overlook that, and over time it just leads one to feel like more depressed, tired, even if it's just like a little bit fatigued. You're not meant to like feel fatigued all the time. You're not meant to have like this low energy. You're meant to be thriving. You're meant to be amazing. You're meant to just like have fun in life, even though like we have like a bunch of school and a lot of work. We just need to sit down and just keep grinding it out. Like, we're not supposed to be constantly feeling this in this like low state. I mean, I hope at least a lot of my professors didn't create the assignments they did to watch us suffer. But I just, I believe, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I hope they don't want us to suffer, but like, it's debatable, I guess.
Yes, it's true. It depends on who we have and what we feel their true intentions are. But the good news is that with this low, there's really good ways to balance this lack of vitamin D or this deficiency that a lot of people are seeming to suffer. And they're much easier than we think. And we all are pretty much aware of the first thing, which is quite obvious, and that is to go outside more, spend more time in the sun.
What's your favorite thing to do outside that's COVID safe, Issa?
Oh, COVID safe and fun outside. Honestly, this is COVID safe and it's fun, but I would do this if I would often walk around on campus.
Yeah.
And I noticed if I quickly, like if I needed to just walk very fast, I couldn't really meet with a friend because I was going from one class to the next, but it was a little farther and I just really didn't have that time to meet with someone. I would listen to an audiobook on my phone. I would download an audiobook and I would listen to it, or like a cool podcast. And it was really fun because it was even if I didn't have anyone to talk to, like sometimes I would talk to someone on the phone. Like I have a lot of family in Europe, so I would just like contact them during the time, of course, like when they're still awake because they're like 6-7 hours ahead. So I would just like call them, I would talk a little bit, I would call some of my friends, I would listen to an audiobook, sometimes just walking in nature, really taking it in, going with friends, talking to someone, even like if it's raining outside, just like walking around like even in the mall or something. Like that's really fun because like you could at least like get yourself moving. What's also important to remember is that vitamin D is not something necessarily our body can absorb as much as kind of you have to prime yourself to absorb it. So the more you go outside, the more active you are. I would say the more vitamins you take, the more your body could take in and even create this vitamin D response. So number one is definitely going outside and just having more fun. Number two, this is like a one that a lot of people forget about, but eating animal products. Because animal products actually have the highest vitamin D. So whether it's fish, meat, eggs, dairy products, they have a lot more vitamin D than many other plant-based sources. So even I understand a lot of people are vegan, but it's important to remember that if you are suffering from a vitamin like deficiency, especially vitamin D, which is so important, just to be open and aware that eating animal products might indeed really help you.
A lot of people who are vegan or vegetarian will go on like supplements and stuff too, to make sure that they get what they need nutrient wise. So it's something to consider, you know, if you want to. I used to be a vegetarian too, and I did it all wrong. Like I didn't do it in a healthy way. At first I did, and then I didn't keep up with it, and I ended up being super fatigued. And I was just so busy with school that I don't know, I didn't take the time to do it properly. So I was always like tired. And people always said I looked like, I don't know, like not like I looked bad, but like I looked like a walking zombie. They didn't say those words, but I think that's what they meant. They said, whoa, you look tired. Like, but yeah, it's definitely something to consider for sure.
Of course, yeah, I get you. But like just to wrap it up, it's really two simple things that really could help us. Supplementing on vitamin D or eating more animal products, like especially when it comes to diets like veganism and vegetarianism, it's just important to be aware of the common deficiencies and of easy ways to supplement on them or like reverse them or prevent them from happening. That's number one. Number two, spending more time in the sun, even if it is just standing outside in the sun, just like absorbing the beautiful sunlight for 5 minutes, it could really make a difference and really bring you back to your healthy balance and keep you thriving.
Yes, well, thank you for all your wonderful tips, Issa.
Sure, of course, guys. Remember, stay healthy and stay awesome. See you next week.
I'll try to stay awesome, but I guess no promises. If you just woke up or if you just tuned in, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is We Can Wake Up with myself, Leslie Gallagher, and my co-host,
Caitlin Aristizabal.
And yeah, let's take a little minute. We came across this interesting article from her campus. If you guys don't know what her campus is, it's basically this website where a bunch of I think it's people who identify as women. They are college students who write articles about like lifestyle and fashion and I don't know, a bunch of other things. A lot of them are like mental health and physical health too. I find them pretty interesting. I scroll through a lot and I don't know, great content. I always like it. It's fun to go through. But this one article was about being more productive in the morning. Are you typically productive in the morning, my friend Caitlin?
No, I am the worst morning person, and a lot of the times it's funny because I feel like recently I've been saying this a lot, and it's just the idea of how am I going to survive in the real world post college when you have to get up early every morning, every day of the week, and then do your
Yeah.
work, and then you're done in the like you're not done late, but still like you
at
have to get up
5.
early every single day. Like the days I get up early now, I get up early only twice a week, and I'm so tired on both days.
Yeah, I think it's probably like it might be like a lack of routine because I'm the same way. I only get up early on certain days when I need to. And then because like all my classes are different times, radio I have to get up early for like 2 days out of the week and the rest I don't. And then I don't know, it's and then just I don't know. So I get it. But it might be a lack of routine. Like I know sometimes people are like one of like the big like health tips is like get up at the same time every day and go to sleep at the same time every night. And it's
I'm gonna try that. I need to test that out. Like even during quarantine or before school starts, I always try to make myself like do a little routine to get back into the school mindset. And
yeah.
I mean, I usually start it and then I just give up because I'm like, yeah, whatever. But like, I should actually really commit myself to doing that because I want to see what the result is. And I've never been somebody who has like a natural alarm clock. Like, people who just wake up at a certain time every day. I can never.
Yeah, that's the thing is I can never get up on like the first alarm. That's funny because that's like the first tip here is get up as soon as your first alarm goes off. It is not that simple. I have a hard time getting out of bed and that's probably more of a mental health thing, but it's not that simple. I need to set an alarm for like way before I need to actually physically get up because I need to mentally like prepare. And even then I'm just like it's complicated, but like I don't know, it's not as simple as just springing up. But if I did have a consistent time that's get up every day, that might help. But at the same time, if you're making your schedule all the same times that you have to get up, like the earliest I have to get up is for Fridays because I have to go in studio for the morning buzz. And those days I get up at like 6:30. But like most days like my first class is at like 1 p.m. And I could get a lot done between if I was waking up at 6:30 every day and going to my first class at like 1. I could get a lot done in theory, but I could also just be really tired by the time that class starts too. That's why I'm like, I don't know if this is really going to work in practice, but people do it. Maybe I'm not people.
Maybe I'm not. That's funny. No, yeah, I think that this is random and a conversation for another day, but I just want to say I think the perfect time to get up in the morning is 9 o'clock. Anything before that is too early, and anything after that is too late. But that's just a personal opinion, and we could talk about that a different time.
I don't even disagree with you there. It kind of makes sense. But a lot of people's like job starts at 9 though, so they have to get up early.
They have to get up before that, yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's the issue.
You said that you woke
up.
That
starts at like 10 or 11, or you can just I don't know, move to another country that isn't America where they don't start until later anyway because they think it's crazy that we go from 9 to 5 every day. So
that's true. We are crazy though. But
yeah, we are. The 40 plus hour work week in our country. I only learned like maybe like a few months ago that that's not normal in every country and that they're not always like grinding all the time to like get work done and like do your best and like working as many hours as possible. Like that's literally just America.
I'm sorry. Maybe Kyle Canada, just said anything. Kyle just said in the background, our line producer just said anything after 7 is too late. Like you mean 7 in the morning? That is insane. I could never. But I want to try it. I want to try it.
Should we try it together?
No, but you know how you said you wake up early. You woke up. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I have an idea. Really quickly. Okay. So you know how you said that you woke up early for the buzz on Friday. Mm-hmm. On Tuesday, I went in studio for the buzz, and walking around campus was so peaceful at that hour. Like
yes.
Yeah, and nobody's around, and the sun is rising, and if you have nice weather, it's gorgeous. Like the day that I went out, it was just
it's normally super windy and cold, but you probably had a good day. But it is really beautiful to see the sunrise, and it is super quiet on campus at that hour.
Okay, but if we hold ourselves accountable and we actually do this like schedule thing, we should wake up and go for a morning walk. We could come back and take a nap until our body gets used to it, but we could at least, make ourselves wake up.
Oh my God, let's actually do this.
Oh, so we made our own tip. That's not on one of the lists, but
yeah, we did it ourselves.
One of the ones on the list that I liked that was 6 ways to be more productive in the morning is stretch and work out in the morning. I don't do this. I don't exercise. I should, and I want to. I want to get myself into that mindset. But when I work out, I feel more energized. Like I feel good about myself. And I feel like if I did that in the morning, it would help.
I like exercising, but I don't really do it because it's complicated because I do like getting the energy and like actually like feeling like the air in my lungs and like, you know, like I don't know, it's just a good feeling to like really exercise, but I haven't done it in a really long time. Actually, probably like seriously done a workout in probably like almost a year, which is really bad.
Oh, I did a workout recently just because my roommate made me, but it's just like
I remember you tried to make me do it too. How dare you?
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to get into them to do it. Like once you start, you're like, okay, this is fine, but it's so hard to push me to start. Anyway. My rambles.
I know, I ramble too. We ramble, but it's fine. We see, like we just looked up this article, we had a whole conversation, and now we have a great new idea of how to approach life better in a new healthy way. Look at us go. We're just gonna kill it. It's fine. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I'm dreading it a little bit, but I am excited. Anyways, we've got Allie Leach here with some entertainment news. What have you got for us today, Allie?
Hello. Hi. How are you guys?
Some
exciting things to talk about, some interesting things. First, I want to start off with talking about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They are releasing a new Netflix docuseries called Heart of Invictus. It is going to center on the Invictus Games, which is going to give sick and injured military personnel and veterans the opportunity to compete in sports, which I think is really cool and awesome. I love that. It sounds like a really cool idea. And I love that they're kind of starting to make a name for themselves outside of the, you know.
It is really cool that they're doing their own thing. They're making their own path. I think it's really cool and pretty admirable too.
But I like the fact that also, because for Meghan, just that she's able to get more back into, I guess, the stuff she used to do, because when she became part of the royal family, they cut her off from like her social media, her acting, like she couldn't do that stuff anymore. And she did give all that stuff up to be with Harry, but now she's getting an opportunity to do things that she loves again. And I just think that's a wonderful thing. And he supports her and everything too, and he's there with her. And
they really are good together. Like I feel like they've been through so much, and it shows that, I don't know, they're a good pair.
Yeah, I love them together. I like to think that they're soulmates. I think that they're going to be together forever. I think they're the cutest thing ever. And I think that it's so awesome how they're working on projects together too. It's like that takes a lot to work on a project that big when you're in a relationship, to know that like you have to be able to go through stuff together.
So true. But if you're really like I don't know, like you said, like soulmates, or if you're really just work well together and outside of the relationship, it's good to do projects together, because if you work well, you might as well put it to like good use. I mean, it makes sense. Some people, like, I feel like that's also like a test to a relationship too, if you can do stuff together that's like for other people outside of your own relationship, if you can make it work, because you know sometimes it can get personal and there can be conflicts, but hey, they're making it work, so kudos to them.
Yeah, kudos to them. So now moving on from Meghan Markle, even though I love her, we're going to talk about something very interesting that I found. I don't know, I'm just very intrigued by this story. I feel like a lot of people will be too. So I found this article from the New York Times that said that Zachary Horowitz, whose stage name is Zach Avery, he's a Hollywood actor, he was charged with running a multi-million-dollar pyramid scheme. And for those of you who don't know what a pyramid scheme is, the definition from dictionary.com is a form of investment which is illegal in the US and other countries, in which each paying participant recruits two further participants, with returns being given to early participants using money contributed by later ones. So everyone's money is just getting thrown around everywhere and it's not going anywhere specific.
It's basically just a giant scam, because they'll promise that you'll get your money back and more. It's like a thing where they'll give you like hope, and they sort of, I don't know, from what I've heard, is like they manipulate you into joining their project so that they get more money, but you don't get anything really back in return. It's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. So this actor, Zach Avery, was arrested on Tuesday on wire fraud charges and was accused of defrauding investors of at least $227 million and with fabricating his company's business relationship with HBO and Netflix.
God, jeez.
Yeah, a lot of money was played with here.
Whoa. Sorry. When I hear like big numbers of money, I'm just like, wow.
It's like, wow, that amount of money exists. That's crazy.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
How did you do that? I mean, he did it through a pyramid scheme, so I guess we're not going to follow in his shoes, but still crazy.
Mm-hmm. And so the New York Times kind of described the scheme as following. They said that the 2017 film Bitter Harvest pulled in less than $600,000 in the US, and all investors needed to do was to help buy the rights to distribute it and a number of other films in Latin America, Africa, and New Zealand. And most distribution deals with HBO and Netflix were on the verge of being formalized, and once those fell in place, the investors would get returns of at least 35%. But these distribution deals were never promised, and they were never really like set in stone. So a lot of money, these investors weren't getting their money.
That's so crazy. Oh
yeah.
So messed up.
Insane. I can't believe that first of all, didn't hear about this. This was happening, and we didn't hear anything about it. This came into
probably because it's a not super well-known actor. If it was like a really big actor, we would have heard about it for sure.
Yeah, I looked him up. He was in a couple of movies. According to his IMDb, what he was most known for are the films The Last Moment of Clarity, The White Crow, and Farming. I personally have not heard of any of those. White Crow sounds a little familiar. I might have heard of it, but I didn't see any of them. I don't really know who this guy is. But no,
I think I've heard of Last Moment of Clarity, but I never saw it.
That's what I was thinking. I feel
Came
like
out
I
in
heard of that too.
2020.
I don't know where.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was an actor. So he wasn't well known, but now his name is out there. And he's currently in jail right now, awaiting trial. And Michelle Lane, director of the SEC's Los Angeles regional office, said, "We allege that Horowitz promised extremely high returns and made them seem plausible by invoking the names of two well-known entertainment companies and fabricating documents." Those two well-known entertainment companies were HBO and Netflix. So there were HBO and Netflix deals that investors weren't being paid for either.
Mm-hmm.
So when New York Times reached out to the other employees of this company, 1 in a Million Productions, none of them responded to the requests for comment. Neither did Zach Avery, not surprisingly. I don't think that anyone caught in this position would have a lot to say.
Probably just a smart PR move, just to not say anything yet, because they should probably put out a formal statement. Probably take too many PR classes, but it is probably a smart move at this point. I mean, it's clear that they, literally like were in a pyramid scheme. Anything that they would say would probably just end up turning out bad. So
yeah, a press release right now is definitely the best option for them. But so this whole thing began to unravel back in 2019. An investor didn't get his money, and he wanted his money refunded for what he put into the film. And Zach Avery just didn't have it at all.
That is a big part of how pyramid schemes work, is that people will be like, well, where's my money? And it's already gone. Like, you're not getting them back. Like, and that's very unfortunate that's why it's illegal. So
but that's crazy. Like, this is all just for what? Like, greed, power? Like,
Yeah,
what was he trying to get?
I mean, what you do is like, from my understanding, is you get money from a bunch of different people, and then you sort of like use that to, I don't know, it's a little complicated, but yeah, you pretty much get money from other people, and then when they want it back, you don't have it because you already, I mean, it's complicated. Different people do different things, but basically it's not there.
They found out that Zach Avery, they found out what he did with some of the money.
What did he do? Is
He
it safe for air?
used the investment funds to buy a $5.7 million home.
Oh my God.
And then after he brought that $5.7 million home, he paid up to $700,000 in fees for a celebrity interior designer to come and furnish it.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is insane.
Dude, okay, think about it. This guy has a few like feature films under his belt. He probably could have just kept acting and like really improving on that. He probably could have gotten to that point of his life without having to like commit crimes. Like he was on the path to being able to be genuinely very successful, like just from the films. Like they look pretty professional, like not, just like glancing at his IMDb, like it doesn't look too like he's been in like a couple of serious films. Like he could have just gone there probably, and now he's ruined his own name. Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy.
He has great
The house really worth it? Like, I don't know.
No, he has great reviews from the stuff he's done in acting. It's not like he's a bad actor or anything. He's just not well known yet,
Probably just trying to jump the line, and maybe was just impatient, just really wanted like a nice house with his nice career. But I feel like
he took a big leap off the line.
How did he not have enough? He probably, not like he couldn't, I don't think I don't know how much he makes, but like he probably like could have afforded something maybe a little less, or even that. Like I think it's just so unnecessary.
Why did it have to be a $5 million home? But anyway.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like you just aim a little lower, you probably could have afforded it, bro.
So yeah. Now we wait. I will give updates when we get updates on the situation, because
I'll be waiting. This is interesting.
Thank you guys.
And thank you, Allie.
Yeah, well, from some interesting entertainment news, we're just going to jump right over to Lauren Small, who's going to talk to us about mental health. And I know I love hearing from Lauren every week.
Yes, we need our weekly dose of mental health, like rejuvenation news, because you always got good tips, and honestly,
thank you.
I always need them, so let's go.
Well, I love being here every week, and it's midterms and exam season right now. I don't know like if you guys are like when you've had that, but other colleges are like on a completely different schedule than us. I feel like we've been like thrown off track, but I have been having midterms.
Yeah, with the whole extended winter break, no spring break, and just like the whole thing, we are on a different path than some colleges. A lot of my classes are like, I had like one like formal like questiony midterm, and then the rest of my classes are like just like projects really. So like I'm kind of having midterms, but not really like sitting down and taking many tests, just like working on a bunch of stuff really.
Yeah,
which
that makes sense for like,
but yeah, I actually prefer projects, but it's still
in like this television, radio, like communications major, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but today, like all these things, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so guilty of this. Like I'm really gonna have to try to implement this stuff in, because I'm so bad with this stuff. But the best thing to do is prioritize your schedule. Mm-hmm. And set aside specific times, whatever works best for you, to just plan out your week or your day, your like tomorrow, whatever works best for you, and manage your time wisely so that you're not procrastinating, or if you're like a workaholic, you're not spreading yourself too thin and getting burned out. Do you guys like to use a planner or like an app to keep yourself organized?
Yeah.
Yes. I live by my planner. Like if you ask anybody that knows me, like I really do. And it's all color coded. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing my planner. It's not like super cute or anything. It's just things I need to get done. But yeah, I live by it. I can't do anything without it.
Do you get like satisfaction out of like crossing something out. Like I feel like it's so satisfying.
That is the best part. Like that's why I love, like I try to write neatly like on each line so I can just cross it out and it makes me feel good and I'm just like, yes, I did that. Yeah, it's just all about productivity. So
I also love crossing things out. I have a bullet journal. So if you don't know
what cuter.
If you don't know what a bullet journal is, it's basically a blank notebook that's all like dots and you can make your own like layout depending on like, I don't know, how you want to organize your life. Like this is the layout I have if you're watching on YouTube. But basically you can just, you create your own layout based on like what you want in it. And a lot of people get really creative with it. And the thing is, Lauren, is yeah, I do have this bullet journal, but do I use it all the time? No. I invest the time to make it all pretty with colors, and then sometimes I just don't use it because I'm kind of inconsistent with it, but I'm trying to use it more.
That's my issue. You know what's so cute is that bullet journals is like my first segment on here, so that like made me so wholesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I only got it like a few months ago. That's so funny.
I feel like I would like to use a planner for like day to day, but I've been really into like Google Calendar when it comes to like my classes and stuff. It works so good, and you can like I know like people are really into those widgets right now on like iPhones. You can put like a big one and it'll notify you and stuff like that. Oh my God, it's so helpful just when it comes to like just like your basic schedule. But like for day to day, I really need to work on getting like a little planner and just crossing things out. I feel like it would help so much.
It is so satisfying, honestly, because then you're just like, sometimes I wonder if anyone else does this, but do you ever forget to write a task down, and then when you're done, you go to cross it off, but you didn't write it down? I will literally write it down just so I can cross it off. Has anyone else ever done that? Is that just me?
Get your like reward system in.
It's satisfying, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even write it down. I gotta write it down so I can cross it off.
It makes it. And sometimes I'll write simple things in my planner. Like it could be like, I'll literally write like get lunch in my planner and cross that out. Like that was gonna happen anyway, but I just it's nice to cross out.
That's funny that you say that, because sometimes I get so busy that I actually do forget to like eat or like make time to go get food or make time to like cook or like buy food or whatever. So it's actually good to write that and designate a time if you're like me and you forget.
Oh, we got some like good schedulers with us. I'm not at all, but it's important also in your schedule to fit in time for sleep. Like I know we are all guilty of this, but you can practice as many mental health tips as you want, but if you're not going to benefit from them if you're always sleep deprived and you're not getting any sleep, because we all know that it's so good for you. And like pulling all-nighters should be like a last resort. Like it's the only way you can do this. It should not be the norm. And I'm working on that. Like I won't pull all-nighters, but like really late, like unnecessarily late, because I don't know if you guys saw this, but I saw it on TikTok and it was like, oh my gosh, I forget what it's called. Like you don't want your free time to end at the end of the night, so you just keep staying up.
I do that so
pointless.
Often. I'll just be like, oh, it's the end of the day, so it's fine if I just relax, and I'll just keep not sleeping because I just want to chill. But it's like, it's not good.
Exactly. Like
I'm somebody that I need sleep.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't pull all-nighters. I just stay up later than I should.
Yeah. Because I'm like
Animal Crossing or watch a show, and I just like I don't want to stop because I'm like having a good time, because mostly during the day I'm busy. So but it's a problem though.
I feel that way. I don't want tomorrow to start, not in like a depressing way, just like I just want to keep like doing my own thing, because I know tomorrow I'm gonna have like actual tasks that I have to do.
I know exactly how you feel there. Trust me.
Yeah. That her campus website that you brought up earlier, Paula Lopez had an article about ways that stuff that can benefit you when you're studying during midterms and rewarding yourself. Just crossing off that, it felt crossing stuff off your schedule felt rewarding for you. So imagine like when you're studying for like a half an hour or 45 minutes, I don't know what's a lot for different people, but like whatever's a lot for you, and then using what normally would make you procrastinate, like Netflix or TikTok or something, as a reward at the end of studying, instead of like pushing it off.
I've tried this before. You can sometimes get lost in it, but what I'll do is, I don't do it as much lately, but I have done this before where I'll set like a timer, like, 15 minutes, I'll scroll through Instagram or TikTok, or I'll watch a 15-minute YouTube video. Once it's over, and I will, I'll set an alarm and make sure I get back to work. But it can be hard. It can make it harder almost to get back if you're having like a good time. But if you know that you only have 15 minutes or whatever, how long you want to make your break, then it kind of is like, oh, it's okay. You know, it's something that I hear people say, or I've heard someone say, maybe in a TikTok probably, is like, it's okay to not be watching your favorite show or your YouTube video or your TikTok or your whatever, because it'll be there when you're done with your task. It'll be there when you get back. It's not going anywhere. You can just watch it later. And that also has motivated me to like do work, because it's like, it'll be there when I'm done. So
that's true. It's easy to say, but when you're in the moment, like you said, I've been trying it too, and I'll give myself like 10 minutes or whatever, and sometimes it's so hard to just get back into studying again, because you're like, I don't know, where it's different things work for different people. There's different types of studying. I don't know if you guys have taken those like learning tests. I took so many in high school where you're like either a visual or auditory or hands-on learner, but like different things work for different people.
I remember taking those.
I took them in like every class. But that's everything I have for you guys today. I hope everybody can implement at least one thing to help them during the exam season.
And honestly, just school in general is so busy. Exam season is worse, but it's also like, I don't know, I feel like we're busy all the time. Like,
well, Montclair's interesting because we don't have like, we don't have like exact like a midterm week or anything. So I just feel like it's just constant. Like depending on your class schedule, your professor might be like, oh, let's just do a project like right now. And like, so I don't know, I guess it's just constant busyness. I guess it's not like we're waiting for some stressful 1 week or anything, but yes.
It's true. It is kind of constant. So it's like almost important to be consistent with, I guess, your journal or whatever.
I love all the tips that we always get from Lauren, though. We always get great information and things that we need to implement in our lives. It gives you hope.
It does give me hope, because I'm like, if I just like tried a little bit harder to make my life organized, it might actually help, because sometimes I'm so disorganized that I don't really like think to, I don't know, put like certain things first, but like, I don't know. Yeah. She gives me perspective. Let's go with that.
That's true. I think overall, I just want to say I think sleep is important, and sleep. Yeah, I don't even know. Sleep isn't the word for today. I think we all deserve sleep, extra sleep. I'm just really tired, so that's all I'm thinking about.
I think you're tired today. If you just woke up or you just tuned in, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and I think Kaylin Aristizabal is recommending that you just go back to sleep.
You can catch our show on YouTube later if you're interested, though. So
oh yes, if you'd like to, you can head on over to YouTube, and our YouTube page is WMSC Radio 903 or 903 actually, but we say 90 point, you know what I mean. Anyways, have a good week, everyone.